Yo, 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 ladies and gentlemen, children. What do they say in the boxing arena? What is it? Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. Welcome, welcome to the podcast, man. This is Big Reptile Talk. We bring content creators on that are in the reptile hobby. Really just animal lovers. We check in with them, see what they got going on, see what they're up to. I love to see what's going on out there, man. So before we get started, man, you know we got to do much love to our channel sponsors, Mile High Mutations, man. That's my brother. He supports the channel and he produces amazing snakes. Y'all make sure y'all hit up his Instagram. Check out his morph market. Just amazing animals. Shout out to my brother Eugene over at Morph Ambitions, man. That's my brother. Definitely supports the channel, producing amazing quality snakes. And not just that, he sells mulch. I say mulch, but that's the stuff you put in your garden. Let's say he sells awesome snake bedding, so you can get an awesome snake and awesome bedding. Shout out to my brother Paul over at Large March Morseman. I appreciate you being a sponsor of the channel. Shout out to Mike over at MKL Exotics, man, producing just amazing hognose snakes. I really want to get a hognose, man, because they say that they're rear fang venomous. So I want to make like a clickbaity video, letting the hognose bite me and say I got bit by a venomous snake. Technically, it's clickbait, but it's not a lie because they are rear fang venomous. But they're beautiful snakes. Frost Critter, man. Let's take a moment to get his brother some love, man. He's not even in the United States, and he shows love to the channel. So much love to him. Check out his Instagram. Just a huge supporter of the channel, and I love you, brother. Shout out to Mad River Service and Rattery, man. Y'all go over there, check him out. He's producing some amazing snakes. Moreno, man, that's my brother. You already know Boris, man. He's producing just amazing clutches of snakes. Go check him out. Shout out to Matt Yates, man. I appreciate you for being a sponsor of the channel, man. He's producing high quality stuff too. There's a lot of people in the ball python game that just producing some heat, man, and they need a lot of recognition, man. So shout out to Ball and Hands Pythons. They're producing just amazing snakes. King's Reptiles, man, just a husband and wife duo. They produce high quality boas and ball pythons, man. So y'all make sure y'all give them some love. Right here, man, this brother right here, Low Life Exotics, man. I appreciate you for supporting the channel, man. Much love, brother. Basement Pythons, man. Now, when I tell you this dude is Call of Duty in real life, he's Call of Duty in real life. I appreciate you for supporting the channel, man. My brother Jason. Shout out to Heathland Hatchery, man. Definitely making amazing snakes. Stone Age Ball Pythons, man. I need to go check him out on Instagram. He's absolutely killing it. 500,000 followers on Instagram, man. Definitely supports the channel. I appreciate you, brother. Much love to you, man. There's a reason you're killing it on Instagram. And last but not least, my brother Ozzy Boys, man, is a sponsor of the channel. So much love to Ozzy. He doesn't really need an introduction. Now, I'm excited about this. Oh, man, Brian, man, much love, brother. That's definitely a good dude right there. Much love, Brian. I'm excited about this podcast, man. So when we come back, we're going to have Father Blue, man. Just an awesome dude, and he has just awesome blue tree monitors, man. So don't go anywhere, man. We'll be right back.
Whoa. Big reptile talk. Yeah, we working. Big reptile talk. When it comes to talking about snakes, yeah, love that we got for them effects, yeah, big reptile talk. Let's talk about reptiles. Yeah, big reptile talk. Let's talk about reptiles.
Now we got Father Blue in the building, man. How you doing today, brother?
I'm cool, man. Thank you for having me on, man. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Excited to have you here, man. Now we got to chop it up, man. We got to talk for the people that are watching and that will watch, man. Why monitors, man? There's so many animals out there. What drew you to the monitors?
Man, I worked with a lot of different species of animals, from like snakes to like lizards and everything like that. And for me, man, the monitors are just a smart, really kind of like intuitive animal that's super fun. And like, I can hold it, and I know that it's like it's smart as hell. It's big enough and hefty, so when you show it to someone, they're like, "Wow, you have one of those," you know. So it's a lot cooler than a snake that's just like chilling in a tub, or a cage. I didn't like that, so I wanted something a little bit more action.
Okay. You wanted to step it up a little bit, man. So
Yeah.
you have an amazing collection of blue tree monitors, man. So talk to us like what's been the hardest part and the easiest part about raising up blue trees?
Oh man, well, all my animals are wild caught. So to deal with the import animal and having to like take care of an animal that's like full of like parasites, that's not accustomed to eating normally, not accustomed to drinking water, like that has been the biggest challenges, honestly. Working with any animal in particular, but because they're like so flighty and they just want to hide all the time, it's real easy to like get an animal, bring it in, and then they go downhill if you're not like really up on it and taking care of it and stuff like that.
Really, right. The blue trees, man. You say you do a lot of wild call. That's because they're not big where you are. They're not really big in the states. Like I see a lot of people with like black throat monitors and
Yeah.
peach throat monitors and green tree monitors, but I don't really see a lot of blue tree monitors, man. So is that why you picked them? Because they're not like super like readily available?
Yeah, so when I got into this, there were like maybe like 2 or 3 people in the whole U.S. like really breeding them, and now we're getting a lot more people like Vanessa Clutchfield. You got Brian Susan, like these guys are breeding them now. But when I wanted to get into it, I was looking for adult pairs, adult animals ready to breed, and there's no captive bred adults. They're all coming out of the wild. Like just to put this into reference, the blue tree monitor was only like scientifically discovered in 2010. So that's only 13 years that has been recognized by science. So like it's not an animal that's just like readily available to buy. That back then that was captive bred. So imports was the only thing available. And so when I had the chance, I bought up everything that I could see, and now we have this established group that's now they're producing eggs and things like that. So it's really cool to see the whole thing come full circle.
Right. I'm a more on the snake side, but I just got a monitor, but it's not as advanced as yours. But let's talk about diets, man, because I want to learn about monitor diets. Now we know that monitors are insectivores, right? But
Yeah.
I see everybody, they're throwing their monitor a pinky mouse, or they're throwing like raw meat, or they're throwing like scrambled eggs, or they're throwing runny eggs. Like, what do you think is the best diet when it comes to monitors, man? Like, what's good for them, and what are you like? Nah, I want to stay away from that.
Well, the most balanced diet is going to be like a full insect diet, right? And in a perfect world, we'd be able to do that if we had readily available all the bugs that they eat in the wild, right? But unfortunately, we don't. And in captivity, we know for a fact to get picky animals to eat, mice is a big trigger. Eggs are a big trigger. Poultry, like, chicken. I know a lot of people, if you cut up chicken, those are big triggers, these animals to get them to eat. Do they work? They work, but they're not the most healthiest. They tend to get your animals super fat, right? Like very obese, and that can decrease the life expectancy for these animals when you feed them heavy on that side. So in a perfect world, insects, but like if you have like a 6 foot black throat, you're gonna go broke trying to feed that thing crickets and roaches. So it just everyone has their own thing that works. I would just say make sure you keep your animals lean and healthy and active. That's better than trying to like worry too much about a diet. But if you can provide a perfect balanced diet of like insect heavy based, then I would always go that route. I feed everything from like earthworms to grasshoppers to crickets to roaches to mealworms, superworms. I also feed some of my animals mice. I feed them quail a lot as well. So big varied diet, that I get my blue tree monitors.
Do you do the raw fish or like the raw chicken?
No, I've never done the raw fish or the chicken. I know people that do that. Like when I first got into this game, a lot of people were pushing chicken gizzards and chicken hearts onto the animals, right? And I was just like, man, we don't even eat that ourselves. They leave that in the grocery store for $2. Like, why am I going to feed it to these guys? So no, I don't do that. But I know people that do, and they have healthy animals they're breeding. But I just don't do that.
Hell yeah, I got a Savannah monitor, and I've noticed, and of course it's a beginner monitor. I'm just kind of testing out the monitor, see how I like them. I noticed that the bigger mine gets, the more the bigger its appetite gets. Like
Yeah.
when it was a baby, you could do 7, 8 crickets. Now it's like I have to do it in one sitting. I'll do like a bunch of crickets, a bunch of super worms,
Yeah, yeah.
some eggs, and it's like the bigger it gets, the more food it wants. It's crazy,
Yeah,
man. But
exactly. That's how it is with them.
but I definitely love my Savannah, man. So, anyways, man, like your collection, man, it's amazing. We'll talk about that now. Now that you have the number of blue trees that you have, are you doing any breeding?
Yeah, man, that's the entire goal. So this year, luckily, I've been like blessed by the Blue Tree Monitor gods, man. Honestly, but I ended up getting my first clutch ever, successful clutch ever from the Blue Tree Monitors, and I got 3 eggs from that clutch, which is amazing. At the same token, I got another pair locked up like within the same month of that other pair breeding and laying eggs. So everything is like in the motions right now of breeding, of being paired up and seeing what happens. And so I got faith that I'm gonna have. I'm hoping by the end of the year I have all 4 blue tree monitor pairs breeding, and I have 8 blue tree monitors in total, 4 females, 4 males. I've had more, but I put it down to 4 females, 4 males, and the goal by the end of the year is to have all 4 of them paired up and breeding, or lay eggs from all 4 of them.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Yeah.
I love you having goals, man. Do you see yourself eventually wanting to do breeding full time to where it's just that's your only job?
Nah, man, no. I don't. I make good money doing other things, So like, this is a hobby for me. It's a passion project. Like and I've been very vocal about what my intentions with this entire thing is to actually help educate the world on tree monitors in general and husbandry and how they work. And they're like, kind of what's happening to them in the wild about them being poached out too quickly than they can reproduce. And so the goal of my project, the breeding thing, and I'm doing here is like I'm going to line breed for certain traits that I want, and then some of the babies that I produce. My goal is to then donate them to zoos all around the world to hopefully help them establish captive bred babies so that they can then breed themselves for the future generations and stuff like that. So I'm already in talks with a couple zoos. I'm not going to talk about which ones because I don't want to like start anything with that. But I'm already talking to people, and those are lined up. So when they are available, I have those people ready to accept those babies from me to hopefully then to get everything going on and stuff. So I'm excited about that.
Right. Now I like that you humble and you want to help the zoos. Now, but I'm curious, like, what's the cost of a blue tree monitor?
Man, that's crazy. Right now they're expensive, man. I've seen them go readily. Babies go for like $3,000 to $3,500 a baby. Yeah. And I've seen them go up to $4,000 for one baby, a captive bred baby. And then adult breeding pairs, I saw. A friend of mine picked up a pair for $10K, so they're going for quite a bit, to be quite honest, man. And I think it's due to like the high, like everyone sees them online, they're like, oh, they're so cool, they're cool animal, I want them, and the demand shot up, man. Like when I got into this like 3-4 years ago, I was buying blue tree monitors for like $1,000, and then like within 3 years, they just skyrocketed the value and how many people want them,
Man.
I've been offered crazy money for my collection, and I'm not good. I won't sell it.
I love that you humble and you want to keep them and sell them. But you're in New York, man. So when can we see that Jay-Z Blue Tree Monitor sale? When you gonna sell Jay-Z one?
Tell him, man. Hit him up. If you got his number, let him know. Tell him to call me, man. I'll hook him up with one.
I love it, man. Now, like being in the monitor game, you want to get those people. You want to tap in with those people that got knowledge, man. Like I rock with Mike's monitors. I love that I can chop it up with you a little bit. So my question to you is, having all these monitors, do you feel like you were self-taught or did you have a mentor?
I try to have mentors going into this thing, and I talk to people all over the world, man. Everyone from like Germany, Sweden, the U.S. I talk to every single tree monitor guy there is, right? But unfortunately, I've never taken a monitor, a mentor because I have different ideas than other people, man, and people don't like that. When you start going against the grain and challenging stuff, people don't like that stuff, man. So like for one example, it's like I'm very vocal about giving your animals as large of an enclosure you can. Like if you see the enclosure behind me, these are like 8-foot tall enclosures. They're 8-foot tall enclosures for these tiny 3-foot lizards. And you talk to some guys, and they're like, "You're doing too much. You can't control the heat. You can't breed them. You can't this and that and that." And I go again. I'm like, "Yes, you can," and I'm gonna prove it. And I proved it this year. I bred my animals this year, so they, so I do things differently. And Some people don't like that. I got some people that don't necessarily want to be on my side, and that's okay. So I tend to like nitpick from different conversations and learn from there, you know. But now with the information that I've gathered, I share that publicly on my page. Everything is about sharing, helping people get their animals established, living, working, and fine. That's what I'm about, because I didn't have the opportunity. Now I want to give that to everybody freely, you know?
Right. I feel that. I feel that. Now since we talk about cages, man, like I'm for one, like when I jumped into the hobby, I got all my snakes and stuff, and I wanted to, I told my wife, oh, I don't need to buy an incubator. I'm gonna build one and make one, and I'm a horrible builder, man. So if I made an incubator, my house would burn down. So I say that to say, like, your building, skills are incredible. Like I peeped on Instagram, and you built all your cages, man. So like
everything, yeah.
Like, man, are you like where's your experience from cage building? Come, like, are you like Jesus' nephew? Are you a carpenter? Are you a carpenter? Like, what's your experience to build these amazing, immaculate cages?
That's funny you say that, but no, man, I have no formal training and none of this stuff, man. I started building cages when I was like, I'm 30 now. I just turned 30 in January, but I've been building cages since I was like 17. My first animal was a little Savannah monitor, and the first cage, I posted a video of this before, but the first cage I built for that animal was a 6 foot by 3 foot by 2 foot enclosure that I built for a lizard this big. And ever since then, it's just been progressing and progressing even better, kind of like refining the cage formula I have until what I got now. But no, man, this is all self-taught, man, honestly, dude.
Okay, I feel that. Now you said your first monitor was a Savannah, right?
Savannah monitor, man. Like, yeah, like that was like 10 years ago.
That's I feel. That's why I'm embarrassed. Yeah, I'm on the snake side, but I got a Savannah, and I was like, I want to tell people I'm in the monitor game, but when you say Savannah, they be like, Savannah, that ain't no damn
cool.
They be like, that ain't no damn monitor. So I'm like, I look around, I'll be like, look, I'm in the monitor game too, and then they be like, well, what you got? I go like this.
Yeah.
I'm Savannah. I was like, man, I'm not even allowed to say I'm in the monitor game, but I love it. I still love my Savannah, man. Now when you like, let's talk about Savannahs, man. Let's talk about Savannahs. So, what's your take on monitors, man? Being that you're taking care of these Blue Tree monitors, and you have experience with other monitors. Let's talk about like monitors and reptile, like expo sales. Do you feel like monitors should have like a certain you should have like a certain amount of knowledge before you're able to go to a reptile expo and buy a Savannah? Because they not as hardy as like a corn snake, where if you mess up on a corn snake, they can still survive, but if you mess up on monitors, they don't thrive as much. So do you feel like we should still be able to go to, like, you know what I'm saying, go to reptile expos and get Savannahs and monitors, or do you feel like they should be like a little more stricter on them and make people have a little more knowledge?
I think so, man. I think, unfortunately, the world revolves around money, and a lot of these guys want to sell what they can sell. And I don't think that you should be able to go to an expo and buy a Savannah monitor for $25. I don't think you should be able to buy a Nile monitor for $15. I don't think you should be able to buy a sulcata tortoise for $50 or $100, whatever that is. Like these large animals, they get so massive so quickly, and I think a lot of these young kids don't understand what it takes to take care of one. Like, when you look up the minimum size enclosure for a Savannah monitor, they recommend an 8 foot by 4 foot by 4 foot. Who the hell? That's like the size of a king size bed, right? Or queen size bed. That's the footprint of that. Who's got that space when you're 16, 17, 18, 20? Who's got that space to dedicate to a lizard that big?
Right.
Not a lot of people, And I think it's the onus is on the breeders or the sellers to be telling people, hey, look, this is not something you should be jumping into unless you show me you can take care of it. And we shouldn't be trying to sell these like $20, $50 animals to make a quick buck, because in the end of the day, these animals end up suffering. You'll end up getting a kid on Facebook who's going to get blasted by the entire community when he's like, look, I got a Savannah monitor in my 10-gallon tank. And now everyone hates that kid, right? Even though he doesn't know what to do, but he shouldn't have been sold in the first place, right? And then it's a real eye-awakening when they tell him, like, look, this is what you're going to need to do. This is what you need. This is how much this thing eats. This is how much it takes. And where are you going to be at 10, 15 years down the line when this thing still needs a home? So I think we definitely need to be more strict, but I think we need to be more strict about a lot of animals, not just monitors, but ticks, big turtles, big tortoises, like, all that stuff, man. Like it's a crazy world out there.
I definitely agree, man. I think that policing ourselves, man, take a little bit of stress off the reptile community, man. I definitely agree. Now, I gotta ask, man. Double-sided question. What's been monitor wise? What's been your worst bite? And currently, right now, who's your favorite in your collection?
My worst bite has been my big boy. His name is Boa Blue, and I went to grab him one day, and he bit me in the knuckle.
Ooh.
And the bite was so bad that I used to wear rings, and I don't wear them no more. But the bite was so bad that it swelled my knuckle to a point where I couldn't take the ring off for 6 months. The ring wouldn't slide off for 6 months. Yeah, it was a bad bite. I don't know what it was that he had. Maybe it was something in his saliva or something, but the knuckle swelled up so much that I couldn't get out. And my favorite monitor has to be Stacy, who's my female blue tree monitor, who's the one that laid eggs for me. I love that girl. She's so calm, very passive. She lets me hold her, lets me work with her. She eats off the tongs. Just a beautiful animal to work with, you know. But Bubba Blue, he's my bulldog. I don't even touch him. I'm scared of that. I'm scared of him, honestly, dude.
I love it, man. Like, you know, me owning the Savannah, man, it's piqued my interest in monitors, and I love mine. I'm just blessed that I haven't got bit yet. Mine pretty much does a little bit of hissing and very little tail whipping, but he hasn't tried to bite. But he hasn't tried to bite me yet. Thank God.
Yeah, man, they'll get there. Be blessed now, man, because once they get older, man, and hopefully you just keep working with it so it doesn't get that way, man. But that's going to be a pain in the butt having a 4-foot lizard that wants to bite your hand every time you look at it, man.
I love it, man. I love it. Now, so monitor-wise, you said you got about 8 of them so far.
8 right now. I've had more, but I have 8 right now, yeah.
Now, do you got goals to get more, or are you pretty much satisfied with where you at in your collection?
I want to add by the end of the year, I want to add 4 more animals. So 2 more females, 2 more males. And then after that, I'll be capped off with the tree monitor projects, you know. And then once I have these guys established really well, everyone going, like, again, the goal is to have like a big, diverse group of animals that I can hopefully breed without inbreeding for the next, 20, 30 years. That's the goal, right? So I want to have a diverse population as I can before everything is hard to get later on. And then after a couple of years, maybe I get a bigger place, a bigger facility. I'll work with the other tree monitor species, but right now I'll be set with that.
Right. Now, give me a breakdown on breeding, man. Now, when I say that, I want to breed snakes, and I told my wife, like, I might even think about trying to breed geckos. And I looked up a YouTube video of geckos breeding, and it scared the shit out of me. It was damn near looked like crazy. Like how aggressive are the blue trees when they're mating? Like, can you just, like, with a snake? I could put a snake in a cage and leave it alone for a couple of days and hope that they lock up or whatever. Yeah. When it comes to like the blue tree monitor mating, can you put them 2 in a cage together and leave them alone, or do you actually have to kind of stare at them and make sure they don't get so aggressive? Is what I'm saying.
Well, some people it depends on the animal, to be quite honest. They're all very different. So some animals are compatible with some and others are not, right? So each one is going to act completely different in that manner. But for the most part, once they're paired together and it's a compatible animal, they're fine. The only problem you really run into is males being super greedy and not wanting to give the female enough food. That will happen a lot of times. You'll put a male in there, and he's going to be way more confident the female, eat all the food up before the female can. So that's why it's always better to separate them and then introduce them when you see the female like ovulating, right? Or like going through like swelling for egg development. Then you put them together, and your animals hopefully will lock up, breed, and everything like that. And then when a female lays, you got to remove the male, because the female will kill the male because she's nest defensive. She'll be protect her nest from the male trying to eat her eggs. So there's a potential where she could kill him. And there's various documentations of females damaging males, biting them, chasing them off, everything like this. It's known that this happens. So those are the 2 issues you got to worry about when breeding these guys and cohabiting. But for the most part, man, they're sweet animals. They don't bother each other. They'll eat, they'll chill, and everything like that, you know?
So you telling me when it comes to blue tree monitor breeding, the females damn near like black widows? Right,
exactly. Once they breed, once they lay eggs, the females are very aggressive, and they won't let the males near their nest, and she has the potential to hurt them for sure. But then once, like within a week or so of that, if you remove the eggs, she's back to normal, like nothing happened. You know, it's only when she knows she has her eggs and they're laid, she's gonna do everything she can to protect those nests. Right. And she'll defend it, in that sense. So,
damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, owning, when it comes to owning as many snakes as I own, it's a lot cheaper for me to breed my own rats. Now you own, upwards of 8, go almost double digits when it comes to the monitors. Like, are you breeding your own insects? Or are you just kind of going out and just buying them?
Oh, I'm breeding my own insects. I breed my own dubia roaches. I breed my own worms, superworms, mealworms. I breed my own. I breed grasshoppers as well. That's a big staple for these guys. I breed dubia roaches. I don't know if I mentioned that already. So I have a big arsenal of like bugs that I have readily available to feed these guys. And then I buy mice and I buy coil, pretty much monthly on that sense. But it's a big bill. It's a big bill to feed these guys for sure, man.
Right, Joe.
I
What's your
go.
question? What's your question, bro? So that's crazy, man. So you got monitors and you got a arsenal of bugs that you raise. So
Yeah,
you're
right.
busy. You're a busy dude.
Yeah, dude, busy as hell, man. Yeah.
Well, now being in the monitor game, let me give you just a fun question, man. So when let Lord forbid anything happens to you, but let's say something does, and somebody wants to write a book about your life, an autobiography. What would the title of the book be?
Damn. Damn, that's a I've never even wow, dude. That's a wild oh man. Um man, I gotta damn the title of my book of autobiography for me, but I'll be probably damn, I don't even know, man. I could
Like,
you got me on the spot with this one, man, honestly. Dude. I never thought about this question. Maybe like uh I don't know, keeping blue chew monitors in New York, something like that. I don't know, man. I have no idea, man.
you said so
The
the
New
B
York Steve Irwin, man. I don't
the
know.
BK blue tree breeder.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Or Father Blue. I'll call it Father Blue. Now to let people guess what the hell that means, you know?
I love that. I love that. Joe, man, if I ever plan to breed anything, man, it'd probably be snakes. I'm not really interested in eggs. I like live births. It's called like ovoviparous or something like that. But I like animals that do live births. So boas and stuff like that. Now I got to ask this, man, because I just got a monitor. So I got you here because I wanted you to teach me and give me some game. So versus your monitor and mine, claw care. The claws on my Savannah monitor are gnarly, man. So do you have to do like nail care, or do you just leave them alone for the entirety of their life?
Yeah, I've known people that have done that, but I don't because my animals are arboreal, you know? And also a lot of the backgrounds that I use are pretty like, rough surface. So that acts as a natural file for their nails anyways when they're climbing up and everything like that. So I've never had to do that. I don't recommend it. I think as long as your animal
So
is getting enough enough movement and you give them enough things in their cage so they can like naturally file it down, you'll be fine. That's the biggest thing I can recommend. Make sure you have enough like rock covering so they can climb on and stuff and use that as a natural file. You'll be good.
okay, that makes sense. That's good. I think that it does make sense when you think about it, man. Because do you want me to tell you why I got my Savannah?
Yeah. Tell me.
So this lady hit me up. She was like, I know you got a lot of snakes, you got a thing or whatever, and she's like, da 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 da. You got a lot of geckos and snakes, but I got a Savannah monitor I would like to sell. Keep in mind, I didn't know nothing about monitors, so I was like, all right, let me do a little research. Instantly, I'm on YouTube. I'm asking all my homies. I'm hitting up Mike's monitors. What you know about Savannahs? I come across this YouTube video. I shit you not, and it made me say I want a Savannah because of that video. And the Savannah monitor was in the cage, and the dude had some food on some tongs, and he put it in front of the Savannah monitor's face, and the Savannah hopped. And I kid you not, I'm not bullshitting you. The Savannah monitor hopped out of the cage, ran up this dude's leg, right into his chest, and took the food. And I said, "Oh shit!" I said, "I want to do that. I don't care how long it takes, but my Savannah monitor is doing that."
Yeah.
Like that's a good feeling too. How does that feel to be able to walk into your room and have the trust of your monitors to where they're not scared of you? You can open up your cage and it crawls up your arm and runs to your head. Like, how does that make you feel?
That's a really cool experience, man, because it takes a lot of time to get an animal that's comfortable with you, especially with these things being wild caught. And I talk about it all the time about like the psychological psychological damage that an animal has when it's being, removed from the wild, bagged up and shipped, and then you buy it, and then you put it in a new world. Who knows how damaged an animal is psychologically, and then for it to then gain trust with you to let you do that, that's always a beautiful feeling, man. It always is. I love that I can go in here and damn near every one of my animals, I can take out a tongue and it'll eat from there. It'll drink from my hands if I give them water. They're amazing species to work with, man. They really are. Super smart, super intelligent.
From a cup, or you actually put the water in your hand like this?
No, like if I put it in a cup, it will drink it straight from the cup. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I have videos of that online, man. You can see them where I'll bring a cup of water to them, and if they're thirsty in that moment, they'll drink from the cup.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up, bro. I know my Savannah monitor trusts me, because when I first got it, it would barely come up to me. Now I'll open up the cage and click my tongues a couple times, and it'll damn near hop out the cage.
Oh wow, that's cool, man. That's always cool.
And I'm like, damn, bro, get back, dude. But I love it, man. I love it. Like, I love my Savannah now. Give me the background, man. You're keeping Blue Tree monitors. Like, who are some of your favorite monitor keepers, or do you have any?
Yeah, I've had a lot, man. Some of my favorite guys are Brian Susan from Sundown Reptiles. He's a really cool. He does geckos, and he also does tree monitor. He's a big tree monitor guy. Brandon Van Asten, me and that dude bumped heads a couple times, but he really was one of the people that I saw coming out the gate that was really doing this stuff in a manner that I was like, wow, that's so cool what he has, what you're doing. I would love to be to that level one point. And I'm just doing it a different way than him, but I think he's a really cool dude. If you ever watch this, Brandon, I love to pick your brain and talk to you, dude. No hard feelings. Another guy, Matthew Kosman, which he's a low key guy, but he was one of the first guys that really, peered into his mind of Blue Tree monitor keeping and breeding and all that information and stuff like that. He's a really cool dude. And then there's a new up and comer that's coming up. His name's Parker's Park. This kid. 20 years old, and he has every single tree monitor that you can have in the U.S. He has them all, which is really cool, dude. Young cat, blessed to be in the position that he is, and he's finally getting his animals to breed too. So he's a really cool kid coming up in the tree monitor game. So those are guys that I really look up to in this stuff that I think are have done stuff in the past and are still doing stuff now that I would like to strive to get to their levels.
Right. I feel that. Now, like, when it comes to like snakes, when you look at, and I don't mean like corn snakes or stuff like that, I mean like the bigger snakes. When you look at like retics and reticulated, when you look at retics and Burmese, a lot of keepers do what's called ball training. When with your Blue Trees, do you do any ball training?
No, I don't do that because I don't need to. They know. Well, I only do it with my big male that I'm afraid of, Bubba Blue, where when I open a door, first thing he does is he wants to eat. So he'll bite anything that comes in. So I take my tongs and I put them in his face. And when he sees the tongs in his face that has no food in it, he instantly knows, all right, there's no food. I got to chill the hell out. And then I can do whatever I need with it, But he's the only animal that I need to do that with that has any sort of training in that sense,
Right. That makes sense. So you really got to do no ball training, man.
No, but that shit is scary though. What you say, man? I had a 9-foot boa that she was a beautiful girl, but she got food aggressive in the cage. And that's what made me like move away from snakes. After that, I was like, no more snakes. I don't want to do this no more. But one day I went in to clean up the cage, just to, clean it up, do daily maintenance. And I walked in and I put my hand in there and she bit me right in the middle of the hand. Pow! Bit me right in the middle of the palm and let go instantly. But dude, that my whole thing was leaking. So I was like, after that, I was like, never, I don't even want to do this again, man. I was so afraid to even open that cage. After that, dude, I don't even want to deal with snakes anymore.
I love it, man. But now, when it comes to your collection, man, are you pretty much do you ever see yourself like doing like educational stuff and trying to open up like your own like serpentarium like Brian Barchett?
Yeah, man. I actually plan like the whole point of what I do online, my whole persona online is to educate about tree monitors and Blue Tree monitors and everything that I can find about them and information on that sort. With one plan that I have here in New York that I'm already talking to certain people to see if it can become a reality. It's to start a research institution here in New York City with reptiles in mind. So pretty much like an environmentalist facility where we can keep every species of monitor available that we can have in captivity and keep them here for research study for zoological kids, for vet techs, for the general mass to educate them. It's pretty much something that we want to do, hopefully city funded, to build this research center that we can just have, again, every monitor species we can have as conservationists, almost like a monitor sanctuary, and then use those animals as resources to help educate on how to take care of them, how to properly medicate them, et cetera, et cetera. So that's a big goal that I have. It's a 10-year goal that's written down. Everything is, the stuff to get in motion is already started. So we'll see what we'll be in 10 years with that, But that is a dream, not so much a reptilian zoo, but something to actually help the animals and help us understand the animals better,
Right. I got plans with myself, man. Like, granted, I'm a nurse, but if I could get out of nursing, and I love nursing, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But man, I love to have something like what Kevin got. I love to have like a little my own nerd.
Yeah, that'd be cool,
where you
man.
can come in and see the animals and take. I would love that, man. If I could make my nursing money with reptiles, I would.
Yeah, man.
I don't know, man.
You got time, man. You never know what will happen. You might come out and get the next Paradox albino something that no one else has ever made, and sell that for $100,000. There you go, man. Like, you never know.
Here lately, I've been doing like these little shows and getting paid for them. Like I work in a nursing home, so I've been going to different nursing homes and taking my animals and showing them to the residents.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
Doing little educational shows, man. But let's jump back into it, man, because I'm so excited that you're here, man. So when it comes to like blue tree monitors, man, like clear one thing up for us. Like what do you think is like the biggest misconception when it comes to blue tree monitors that you can say, what, that's not true?
A lot of people think that they're like the easiest to handle, like they're just going to be puppy dog tame. Like you see a lot of people online where they're like the blue tree monitor runs on their hand and they're like hanging out. That's the biggest misconception. A lot of these animals, when you get them, they're super fragile, very flighty, and they're scared. They're very nervous animals, and it takes time for you to work with them for it to be that confident animal that comes up to you, But the reason why the reason why tree monitors are so popular is because people see people online, like, one of my good friends, Reptiliadis, Dion, he has these beautiful animals that he opens the cages, they'll run up and they'll eat out of his hand. They're beautiful. But a lot of people think that that's what their tree monitor is going to be when they get it. And then they get it and they're like, yo, why is my tree monitor not eating? Why is it not drinking? Why is it this and that? It's because you got a scared wild animal and you're expecting it to be a puppy dog. And it's not that, So that's the biggest misconception I have with them for sure,
I agree. So stop. So Reptiliadis, stop showing us the good stuff.
No, he's kidding. Cool, man.
I'm kidding. I know he's been on the podcast. I know. What is it? Dylan or Dion?
Dion.
Yeah, Dion. I know Reptiliadis. Stop showing us the good stuff. Show us the truth, Reptiliadis. I'm totally kidding. Yeah. He's like that, especially with his tokay geckos. It's It's like I have a tokay, and I know it's nothing like Reptiliadis.
But
his tokay will run up to my tokay. As soon as it sees me, it screams and runs.
Yeah, but he also deals with captive bred, which is if you do mess with tree monitors, go that route, you'll be more fulfilled. You have a better working animal to work with, and it will potentially be that lizard that Dion has if you go that route versus a wild caught. So that's why he's successful.
My Reptiliadis spends a lot of time with his tokay gecko. My tokay gecko, I try to spend time with it, and it hurts my feelings. Like I see Reptiliadis tokay gecko. I have a tokay, and it literally will. His tokay geckos literally will come out, jump on his arm, eat a worm, and go back in their cage.
Yeah, exactly.
If I turn on a light in my reptile room, the tokay it literally goes and runs. And I'll be like, damn it. Shout to Carrie Shay. She said, I want a tokay so bad. Get one, Kara. I got mine pretty good price. Now, when it comes to keepers, man, like I know I'm not the biggest podcast or biggest platform, but I have a few keepers. But let's say every single blue tree monitor keeper was watching this podcast right now. What's one thing you would tell every blue tree monitor keeper in the game?
Yeah, go build a big cage. You'll be more fulfilled for the animal. The animal will have more fulfilled life. It will enjoy its environment that it has. You'll get to watch a lot more of its natural behaviors when doing that sense. Don't go for the bare minimum. The bare minimum that everyone recommends is a 4 foot by 4 foot by 2 foot enclosure, and that's for a lizard that's 3 feet. Like, don't do that. go as big as you can. Again, they'll utilize every piece of it, and you're going to be a lot more happier seeing the animal thrive in that cage. So that's what I can do, you know.
I'm the same way. I'm gonna tell you a story. Broke my fucking heart, but I have a big heart, right? So I got it to keep it. My first animal. It was a corn snake. It was a baby corn snake. And I got it, and I put it in like a 10-gallon, right? It was like the very starter. It was a starter baby corn snake. It would do totally fine in it. But I had the corn snake for about 3 days, and I told my wife, I said, "Hey, honey, I see this cage on Craigslist. I think it was Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. I can't remember the one, but it was like." I was like, I want to give my corn snake a mansion. I love my animal. I want to give it the biggest enclosure ever possible. And she was like, well, buy that cage, honey. She didn't know no better. She was like, get the cage, honey. So I bought this 50-foot, big ass, long enclosure, has a wooden stand, and it has a screen top, right? And in the middle of it, it opens like this. But in the middle of it, it had like a little small spot that I didn't notice. Don't you know I did? I put that corn snake in there and I went to work and I came home the next day. And I tell you something, I'm a 40-year-old man. I came home, that corn snake was gone. I cried like a baby.
Oh, man. Sorry about that.
Big ass crocodile tears. I wanted my wife. I wanted to bury myself. Honey, my snake's gone. She said, "What happened?" She said, "What happened?" I don't know. I put it in the mansion, and now it's gone.
Did you ever find it, or it was gone?
I never found it. I couldn't find it.
Damn.
It was my very first. It was my very first animal, man. But I didn't know what I was doing. I was still new to the hobby. But I still have that same mentality today, man. The bigger, the better. I want my snakes to have the best life they can have. So I definitely agree with you. Big cages are the way to go, man. Now, shits and giggles, hot seat question, man. Let's say, you're the father of, Blue Tree monitors. Let's say I was a movie director and I'm making a movie about your life. What actor is going to play you in the father of Blue Tree monitors in my movie? Who's playing you?
Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel?
He's playing me, yeah. That's what he's playing me. That's it. That's what I'm picking. I'm bald-headed. He's bald-headed. That's it, bro. That's all I need. Family all the way.
Okay. I like that. Vin Diesel, man. I like that. Now, I don't know. Have you ever I know that your monitors are more so for your personal enjoyment, and I get that. But my question to you is, have you ever heard of the Snake Father?
Snake Father? No, I never heard of him. No. What do you mean?
It's this guy that he owns a lot of reticulated pythons, and he rents them out to music videos.
Oh, whoa, okay.
So you're in New York, man, like the mecca of hip hop.
Yeah.
When are we gonna see some Blue Tree monitors and some rap videos?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to make some phone calls, man. That's a good question. I never even thought about that, man. That'll probably be really cool, honestly, to see one of these guys in a video. That'll probably make people even want them even more than they are right now,
Why not? You should look up the dude. His name is Cleotis or something like that. He goes by the Snake Father on Instagram. You should check him out.
Okay, I'm gonna check him out, definitely, man. That sounds cool.
Now talk to us, man, because actually I'm gonna be real with you. I love that we're still having this interview going, but you know what I'm still thinking about right now?
What's that?
The price of a Blue Tree monitor, man. If you were breeding Blue Trees and selling them, that's more money than dope, man. $3,000.
Yeah, it's a lot of money for an animal, man. Yeah, and they can lay. So in captivity right now, the average egg that they're laying is about like 3 to 7, and they can go 3 times a year, each female. So I have 4 females. You do the math. That's a lot of money that can be right. I can bring a lot of money in. But again, I'm not doing this for that.
I get
it. Whatever happens. If I make a couple bucks, it will all go back into this, to build these better cages and everything like that. The biggest goal is to really try to keep them from going extinct in the wild and just educating the masses about them, So I'm obviously going to work on my own lines of Blue Tree monitors, yeah, man. My biggest goal is to get them into zoos. And once I got animals that are zoo quality, I can ask whatever I want for my animal after that too, It ain't going to be $3,000 no more. The price going to go up when you come with me,
I love that, man. You're such a just humble, down to earth answer, man. I love that, man. Now, my question, man, Monitor Fest just happened, man. Do you know what Monitor Fest is?
I do know what Monitor Fest is. Yeah.
Did you go?
I wish, man. I wanted to go, and then because of the circumstances, here, I couldn't make it out there. I got a lot of stuff going on over here. I got these cages that I'm building now and everything like that. Like, for a lot of people don't know, I got sponsored by Universal Rock. So I'm doing a lot of promotion and stuff like that for those guys. Like, behind all the cages that I have here, all the stuff that I've been building out, that's all Universal Rock that they sent it out to me.
Let us see it.
All that stuff right there. Oh, that's one of the cages right there with all Universal Rock panels, and I got more over there down at the end of the hall. So like it's eight large enclosures that I got built out. And so I gotta focus on that. Like these eat up all my money. So like until they're done, I gotta just be focused on those, getting them ready and stuff like that.
I feel you. So Monitor Fest, my buddy Mike's Monitors.
Yeah, I know Mike. I know those guys. Yeah, Mike.
Like, give me a rundown. Like, I know you've probably been to Monitor Fest before, man. What's it like? Is it just?
I've never been. I wish.
I've never been.
I've never been. Haven't been able to, man. Both chances. Last year I was working. This year I was working. Yeah, so I haven't been able to go, man. Unfortunately.
Damn. Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure it's just like a reptile expo. Good friends hanging out.
Yeah.
Talking that Monitor talk, catching up.
Yeah.
A lot of OGs in the industry. I think Waterloo was there, Brian Waterloo.
Yeah, it's at his house, Yeah. And I talked to him personally. He invited me. He had all the accommodations set up so I can come through. I was looking forward to it and just couldn't make it happen. The stars couldn't line up for this one, unfortunately.
Well, you gotta go next. You gotta go next year, man, because you in that Monitor circle. Like I'm like, man. You fully in the circle. With my Savannah, I got like 1 foot in the
circle. I'm toying with the idea of maybe doing a tree monitor fest here in New York, because who wouldn't want to come to New York to see it? This would be a perfect, even if it's just to see this and to talk monitors and have a little party. And you got New York after that to explore. Who doesn't want to come see this? So we'll see, man. Do a New York Monitor Fest.
I agree. Now I want you to talk. Because everybody thinks that stuff is just easy. But like you said, when dealing with your Blue Tree monitors, you had a lot of problems. And how did you overcome them? Like, what were some of the things you've seen? Like you said, you've seen parasites. I know you had to go to a vet. Like, were there literally parasites coming out of your animals? Like, what was going on? Like, what were some of the problems you've seen, and how did you overcome them?
Yeah, man, I saw a lot of stuff, and it's through a lot of reading, a lot of chatting, talking to a local vet, everything like that. Parasites, with any imported animal, you got to know that they're going to come in with some type of illness, some type of foreign body that you got to take care of. Like for me, a realization, like I've taken animals to the vet and I've gotten them dewormed, or I've dewormed them myself. So I never saw the aftermath or what was really going on. And the realization really hit when I had a tree monitor, fresh import, and it pooped. It pooped on me, right? And I was like, all right, I'm going to clean up the poop later. It was on the floor. I was going to clean it up later. And when I go to clean it up, there's actual worms moving in the poop, right? I see this. Yeah, I'm not lying, man. I see this and I'm like, bro, this is some scary shit, man. Like, this is like scary that these animals can have that sort of stuff, right? And luckily it's an animal that's quarantined. I had it away from my other animals so it couldn't spread. I make sure every animal I bring in is quarantined for 3 months before they're introduced into all the other cages, right? But this is the stuff that you have to deal with. If that animal never got treated for parasites, it would deteriorate from the inside out, right? There's that stuff. The seeing the monitors not eating and hiding and flighty all the time has led me to certain ways of taking care of my animals. Or when I get a new animal, I give it no hides for the first 2-3 months to get it accustomed to eating and drinking and living out in the open. And then once it's a comfortable, less flighty lizard, I give it hides. These are ideas that I have that, again, some people in the community of monitors don't like it too much because you can't force an animal to be living this and that. But my methods are just a little bit different. Like, I give them these giant logs. I give them these giant logs in these cages. So even if they don't have hides, like physical hides, they can hide behind this log if they wanted to. And it's a physical barrier for me. So it acts as a hide, right? These are little things that I've done over the years that I learned to take care of my animals in better ways, So I developed these little suspended feeder cups where if you see on my Instagram, there's these little feeder rings that are 3D printed. I designed these 3 years ago, introduced them, and I put them all over the cage. Like each cage has maybe 5 or 6 different feeder cups where I could put a deli cup and I put food in there. And now the animals have food up in the air where they're always hanging out, and they always have availability to food. These are little things that I learned and developed over the years to better take care of this stuff. Stuff that I didn't know coming into this and now I share. But it was just a lot of experimenting, a lot of reading, a lot of testing out new stuff, and to figure out what works, man. It's been a lot. It's been a long road coming, but now I'm at a point where I can confidently say my animals are doing okay. They're fine. They're reproducing now, and so things are working. Even though a lot of people said I was crazy and I was wild for doing it, and I was different. I didn't know what I was talking about. The proof's in the pudding now. So
right. I would love to check and see if my Savannah had parasites, but I can't because mine doesn't shit in the open. It literally uses the water. It literally when I got into snakes, yeah, ideally you want to do water changes every day, every other day if possible. But my snakes don't crap in their water. My Savannah craps in his water every single day. I have to change that water every day. So it's like I wouldn't be able to check mine for my I wouldn't be able to check my Savannah, check his stool for parasites. I had to take it to the vet and check. I don't know.
Yeah, I would still get it dewormed, even if you have access to all the deworming meds that are recommended. I'm not gonna tell anybody anything because I don't want anybody to do anything they don't know how to do. But taking it to your local vet to get it dewormed in some way, always with any wild caught animal, always recommended, just to make sure that you're removing those foreign bodies from them, and just to give them a little bit better head start in life.
Hey, you give me that. You give me that knowledge. You're making me want to check. Now I gotta check on my monitor, man. Take it to the vet, man. But see, my thing is getting fatter. Is eating good. So I think mine is good, but I'm still gonna check it now.
Yeah.
Now I gotta ask, man. Give me like your idea on Blue Tree monitors for people that want to follow in your footsteps. How hardy are they? And what I mean by that is, like, if you were to get a corn snake and you didn't have the temperature right, you didn't have the humidity right, you could. And I'm not saying do it purposely, but in essence, you could fuck up for a very long time. Your corn snakes still make it. They're very hardy animals. So Blue Tree monitors, if you, and I'm not saying do it on purpose, but if your care requirements, like if the humidity wasn't on point, if the temperature wasn't right, how hardy are they? How long do you have before you can actually get your shit right?
Well, they're not like the most fragile, delicate animals. They are hardy in some way, right? You get some time definitely to make sure that everything is going right, but things that can develop fast if you're not on point with this stuff is, if it gets an injury, they can develop necrosis really quickly and lose limbs and lose tails. If you're not very diligent on that, they can go ahead and if you're not diligent on the humidity stuff, they can get respiratory infections, which then can go downhill from that. The biggest thing is to make sure that they're eating, because these animals, because they're such a flighty, scary animal, they tend to want to hide all the time, and they'll prevent themselves from wanting to eat. They'll literally starve themselves because they're so afraid that they won't come out and eat. They won't come out and bask. They won't come out and drink. So the biggest thing is making sure they eat very quickly and getting them to make sure they're fine. If you're just on top of your P's and Q's, just like if you've already kept monitors in the past, a tree monitor isn't no different, other than it's an arboreal. It needs a little bit more humidity. Maybe the temperature's a little bit different, but they're pretty well-to-do animal. Probably like they're in advance for sure, but they can be intermediate if you're just knowledgeable about keeping animals or monitors in general. So make sure you have a good enough a supply for a diet to give them everything that they need. The temperatures are on point. There's plenty of people online you can talk to. You can talk to me. You can talk to the people on the Tree Monitor forum on Facebook. You can type up Tree Monitor on Instagram. It's going to bring up any other breeder that's working with them. I'm sure will be happy to help you out. But just be diligent. Take notes. Look and see. Like, if you notice something's different, something's probably wrong, and take the necessary precautions to take care of that. But I don't think that they're that much of a fragile species that everyone can't take care of. I just wouldn't jump into them if you don't know anything about them,
Right. What do you think is don't say, you're going to say Savannah. What do you think is the best beginner monitor?
I would say Ackies, man. Ackie or maybe even Kingorum, the King's Rock monitor, because they're like this small. They're a tiny monitor that don't need a giant cage, and they have the appetite, the ferocity of a Savannah monitor. The problem people don't like them is because they're just not as cool as Savannahs, and they're not as cheap. Like an Ackie is probably like $300 at the cheapest. The Kingorum is probably like $500 at the cheapest. What's easier to get, a $500 lizard or a $20 lizard? That's the reason why people go for the Savannahs all the time. But Savannahs should be an expert level. Savannahs and Manaus should be an expert level monitor to keep. Honestly, in my opinion, That's my own opinion. But the Ackies, I would say Ackies or King Gorms, man. If you can find them, those are way better animals to start off with.
Ackies though, don't they get bigger than the Savannah?
No, man. Ackies get like 2 feet. Ackies get like this big.
That's it.
They get like this big. That's as big as they get. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're smaller. They're a smaller lizard, more to test, more ground dwelling, and they're from Australia, where the savannas are from Africa. So
nice. I love that. Now being in the game, for so long and messing with these blue trees, man. Give me like the best advice a OG keeper gave you. You like Mike's Monitors, Brian Waterloo. I know you know a lot of the OGs. What's one of the best pieces of advice one of the OG keepers ever gave you?
Yeah, like I just mentioned earlier, take notes. Make sure you write down, like, every single one of my animals has a notebook that I write down every single action that I have that day. Whether they ate three chicks that day, or they ate 4 roaches, or I saw them drinking water, or I saw them poop, I saw them do this and that differently. I have my phone with me every single day, and every single time I see something different, I'm recording it. Not only is it like good social media content, but that's records for, like, okay, on this date, I saw this happen. This is probably why it's doing this right now at this later date, right? Like, just record, document. You never know when that information that you gather might help us figure out something later down the line that we've never thought about, right? Or we're trying to figure out and think about and stuff like that. So write down as much as you can. Really investigate your animals as much as you can. Really be diligent about what you collect. When you see this stuff, that information is going to be like, worth gold for you in the future when it comes to taking care of your animals. So that's the biggest advice. Write down everything you see about them.
Father Blue, man, Big Eddie giving out that knowledge, man. Well, you basically gave us an amazing hour, man. Of course, we're going to get you back for a round 2, man. I had a blast chatting with you, but I got a few more questions, man, just for shits and giggles, man. Let's say you're on a boat. 2 people are drowning. You only got 1 life jacket to save somebody. Who are you saving? Tekashi 6ix9ine or the Island Boys?
Oh, man, dude. No way. That's the worst group.
So Tekashi 6ix9ine or the Island Boys? Which one are you saving?
Damn, bro. I think I'm going to have to do Tekashi, only because he's redeeming himself now, because he's, like, helping people out, giving them money. That's the only reason. Island Boys, I don't even care about those dudes, unfortunately, man. Sorry, y'all.
Okay. All right, now since we're talking hip hop, man, because like I said, you are in New York, the mecca of hip hop. Who's the king of hip hop to you, man? I'm curious.
Right now, or like alive or dead?
Just in general.
The king, always Notorious B.I.G., man. Biggie has been my favorite. That's been my favorite artist in the entire world, man. I listen to him on replay every single day.
That's it, man. Biggie, I love that answer, man. You gave us an hour, man. I appreciate you, man. Anything you want to say, man?
Yeah, man. Yeah, again, dude, my name's Eddie Guerra, Father Blue on the page. If you guys have any questions about keeping tree monitors, or want to chat about tree monitors, or need more information or resources, feel free to hit me up. I'm Father Blue on all my pages, from Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, everything like that. If you want to ever chat about tree monitors, and I'm always willing to help you out. If you're looking for tree monitors, I know where to get them from my friends who are various breeders around the U.S. and around the world. Hit your boy up. We're here to help you out any way we can.
Hey, I got a question. I noticed that your main platform is where you're focusing it is Instagram. Why is that, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm growing it because they have. For me, in my opinion, it has a bigger reach, right? In other platforms. Like, when you look at what's the biggest platform people use, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok's here, but TikTok's always in limbo. It's not like something that's very like people don't stay on that too long. It's like really quick. I'm gonna watch this and then gone. But Instagram, you're able to build a community around that. So my goal is to build the Instagram community and then migrate that platform to YouTube, Patreon, all that other stuff. But I'm building the basis off of Instagram to then pivot it otherwise. But I've already started a website. I'm collecting emails and everything like that from there. Like, it's just to help build a brand and an existence here, and then branch it out everywhere else.
Come to YouTube, brother. Instagram don't pay no more, I heard.
No, they don't pay, but again, the reach is, I think, for me, is easier. I've done the YouTube shorts and stuff like that, and I get views, but I got like 250, 300 followers or something like that on the YouTube right now, right? So it's growing. I can do it more, but YouTube takes a lot more work. Yeah. For me, I can do a 10-second, 10-15 second video that gets me 20,000 clicks, that's people talking about me, people going to my websites, people buying products and everything like that. So it pays in that because it's advertising for my products. So then when I move it over to YouTube, we'll already have a fan base.
So in essence, you're a cheater. 15 seconds of work for 20,000 views. You're cheating.
Exactly. Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
I'm just kidding, bro. I'm totally kidding, man. Hey, it's all up, man. Excuse me. Amazing hour, man. I appreciate you for hopping on and chatting with me, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you having me on, man.
All right, much love, brother.
See you later, man.
Yep. Father Blue, man. Keeper of the Blue Tree monitors. I hit him up on Instagram, YouTube. We'll give him some love. This was a fun podcast. I wanted to bring on a monitor keeper as I just got a monitor, Savannah monitor, if you will. So much love to him. Much love to the sponsors. Much love to everybody that has watched and that will watch. Again, this is Big Reptile Talk, the place where I bring keepers and the hobby on. We chit chat with them, see what they got going on. We have a little fun, just something to do, man. Something to do, somewhere to come and kick it on a Sunday. Much love to all the sponsors. And please, before you go, make sure you support USARK. Without them, we are nothing. Until next time, man, this is Big Reptile Talk, and we out of here.
Big Reptile Talk.